Hello, my name is Allison DeWonker, and I'm an undergraduate student here at the University of Guelph. I'd like to welcome you to the College of Social and Applied Human Sciences convocation ceremony this morning. The University of Guelph is honored by our graduates, and we take great pride in this convocation. I'd like to tell you a little about the proceedings today. The ceremonials used for conferring degrees have evolved over a millennium, and the gowns and hoods represent that history. In general, the gowns for the baccalaureate and the magisteriate degrees are black, and the color of the hood is different for each degree program. The doctorates at the University of Guelph have a bright blue gown, and the honorary degrees are an even brighter color. The University of Guelph crest that you see on the curtains behind me and shown on the cover of the convocation program also represents our specific history. The emblems in the crest show links to the royal city of Guelph through the white stallion above, the connection to liberal arts through the book, to the sciences through the astrolabe, and our connection to abundance and agriculture through the cornucopia. The University of Guelph motto, Rerum cognoscere chaosis, is a quote from Virgil. It is variously translated to be either, happy is the one who is able to ascertain the reason of things, or perhaps to know the meaning of things. The procession of people into the hall is also influenced by ancient tradition. The piper will herald the start of the procession of graduates, the students who are coming to graduate today. This will be followed by the arrival of the mace, leading the platform party. The mace is a symbol of authority of the university and will be carried by the beadle. In medieval universities, a beadle was chosen by the instructor to work as an assistant. Today, the beadle is a ceremonial officer of Senate. Following the beadle and mace is the chancellor, president, members of the administration and the honorees, fellows of the university, members of the board and senate, and finally members of faculty and staff. The degrees will be conferred in the order that you see in your program. They are separated by categories representing the specific degree being awarded within the college. The name reader will present scholars to the chancellor and president by degree category. As the name of each student is called, the beadle will place the hood over the recipient's shoulders. This moment will be recorded on video, and technology willing, there will be a live feed of the event to allow family members and friends to watch from a distance. The chancellor and president will greet each student at center stage, and a photograph will be taken. We understand the joy and excitement accompanying such an auspicious occasion, but we ask that you hold your applause until after each group of graduates has crossed the stage. Once all the degrees are conferred and cheered for, the chancellor will close the ceremony and a recessional will play. Please remain standing during the recessional until all the platform party has processed out of the hall. Our colleagues from Alumni Affairs are hosting a social media program developed especially for convocation. Please share your photos, memories, and advice with graduating students by joining us on social media using the hashtag #GuelphGrad. Finally, may I be the first person to congratulate the graduates on their various successes and offer my congratulations to the family and friends who are here to support them. Welcome to convocation at the University of Guelph.
Canada, our home and native land. True patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
I would like to acknowledge the Attawandaron people on whose traditional territory the University of Guelph resides, and offer respect to our Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe, and Métis neighbors as we strengthen our relationships with them. Traditionally, an invocation invites the blessing of God on an event, and if you believe in a higher being, you may be giving thanks right now for this occasion. But what if your worldview does not include a higher power? Can this day still be significant, both academically and spiritually? I believe it can. If you are the parent or friend of one of these graduands, you know today is significant. Some of you may be so surprised and even shocked that your son, daughter, or friend made it to this day that you now believe in miracles, if not God. You are proud of what they have achieved. As they face the challenge of finding the right context to apply their education, may you continue your support, always mindful that to be loving, caring, and encouraging is at the heart of providing the spiritual support that we all need. If you are one of the faculty members who taught, cajoled, encouraged, and mentored these graduates to reach this milestone, you too know this day is significant. May you have a deep sense that it was worth it, that this is what all their years of education were for, that this is what your long years of education were for, and may you have renewed energy to do the same with the next class of undergrads. And for the students before me who are graduating today, may you be thankful, determined, and good. Thankful for your parents, your profs, and the life force that brought you into this world. Determined to make this world a better place, and good, both in your field and in your character. If spirituality is about values more than beliefs, you have been encouraged at the University of Guelph to embrace life-enhancing values like caring and compassion, along with academic achievement. Whether you believe in a higher being, an impersonal life force, or simply in life, love, and goodness in our universe, may this be one of the most significant days of your life as you become more equipped than ever in whatever field you go into to change lives and improve life. Amen, which means so be it. You may be seated.
Members of the board, honorary fellows and faculty of the university, families and friends of the graduands and graduates, welcome to the celebration of convocation at the University of Guelph. My name is Franco Vaccarino, and I have the honor of serving as the president and vice chancellor of this great university. And I'm privileged to welcome all of you here today to convocation. As we begin today's convocation ceremony, let me offer actually a few congratulatory remarks before we kick things off. First off, graduates, this is your big day. You've worked hard, you've persevered, and you've made it. Well done and well deserved. Now, a big part of today is about you, but there are others here that today is also part of. So before we go on, graduates, there's a group of individuals here who I'm sure you would agree deserve your special attention. And they are those family members and friends who have supported you from the sidelines throughout your time here at Guelph. So graduates, I invite you to take advantage of this opportunity. Give a little shout out to your family, friends who are here with you today. Parents are going, yes. So in preparing this welcome, I reflected on the address I gave at my installation as president and vice chancellor last fall. And a central part of that message was about how this university has prepared you, our graduates, for this very moment and for the years that will follow. So let me share with you some of my thoughts from that installation speech last fall. So I'm an optimist by nature, and in many ways, I do believe that we are living through what might be remembered as one of the most exciting and important periods throughout history. Our world is marked by incredible advances in life sciences and physical sciences, in information and communications technology, in the sheer volume of discovery and knowledge. And through all this change, advances in the social sciences and the arts and the humanities test our belief systems, and they continue to challenge our constructs against new and evolving societal contexts. At the same time, we're also seeing isolated disciplines and subject matter coming together in fresh and exciting ways, like music, computer technology, healthcare and robotic engineering, materials science and agriculture. More and more, those connections make knowledge more accessible and more abundant. They also effectively shrink the gap between the generation of knowledge and our application of that knowledge. So in our fast-paced and interconnected world, the distance has narrowed, and it continues to narrow between today and tomorrow. And that, graduates, presents challenges and opportunities for all of us. So what are the human attributes that will allow us to thrive in such dynamic times? Well, they include the ability as individuals, and I would say also as a university, for us to adapt and to readapt in a healthy way to uncertainty and change. And by adaptation, I don't mean simply passive habituation. I'm referring to the act of very consciously and deliberately redefining ourselves based on what is going on around us. When faced with change, people adapt. Sometimes they adapt in healthy ways. Sometimes they adapt in less than healthy ways. The opportunity for you, our graduates, is to adapt to change in healthy ways, to undertake thoughtful analysis that will help you find what I like to call the upside of uncertainty, the upside of uncertainty and change. This provides hope, it provides inspiration, I think is at the core of discovery. It's about taking uncertainty and change and turning it into something special. Now, you've spent the past few years of your lives studying and learning here at the University of Guelph, and an important part of our mission as a university has been to provide our students, you, our graduates, with the tools to successfully adapt and to navigate through the complexities and dynamics of a modern society. We've tried to help instill an ability to adapt to, and I would say, indeed, to thrive in tomorrow's ever-changing world. Your experience at the University of Guelph has prepared you for this new world. In your years here, you've had the opportunity to learn, to witness world-renowned breakthroughs, and to grow personally. What you've learned here goes beyond teaching of subject matter strictly, and it goes towards the process of learning, learning to learn, adaptation, creativity. As successful graduates, many of you will blend knowledge, mixing and matching ideas from separate disciplines. Your years here at Guelph have given you the creative skills and the analytical skills to apply that knowledge in innovative and important ways. So as you enter this exciting next stage of your lives, I encourage you all to draw on all of your University of Guelph experiences as learners and as members of a very special community, and to bring the very, very best you have to offer to every experience. Embrace the opportunities that arrive. Look to create your own opportunities. And I would say also dare to dream. Dare to dream and to reach for a higher sense of purpose. and find new and fresh ways to take what you've learned here to engage with and make a difference in your world. Thank you very much, and again, congratulations. Well done.
I am pleased to invite Professor Troy Riddell from the Department of Political Science to now give the convocation address.
Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, members of the board, members of Senate, faculty, staff, and of course, graduands and your guests. I was honored to have been asked to give the convocation address today. However, after I accepted the invitation, I had feelings that you're probably familiar with, especially the graduands. You're staring at a blank screen. What am I going to talk about? What's my thesis going to be? What are my peers going to think? And I can't even see them, so you're going to have to tell me if they're making faces behind me. So you can also probably appreciate what I did next. I went to the internet to help me kickstart some ideas. I remember seeing that there were really positive headlines about Robert De Niro's convocation address. So I watched it on YouTube. And he started by telling the graduating class of New York University School of Arts, he said to them, "Congratulations, you made it." And then he paused. And then he said, and he said a word that starts with an F that means you're in a bad spot. And he got a loud applause for that line. And I thought that was a pretty cool opening. But then I thought there are at least a couple of reasons why I wouldn't do that here today, setting aside even questions of appropriateness. First, I couldn't pull off such a line. I mean, this is Robert De Niro. He's been the tough guy in movies like Godfather 2, Goodfellas, Raging Bull, Taxi Driver, and even in less classic movies like Meet the Fockers. On the other hand, I teach political science, and occasionally I've had to glare sternly at people if they're chatting too much in class. Not you, of course. So I couldn't do it for that reason. And second, I couldn't use the line because it's not true for social science graduates. A recent study found that 91% of social studies, social scientists graduates were employed 2 years after graduation and had a really healthy yearly wage. So I realized that the thrust of De Niro's talk was not really going to work for me. Good news for the graduands, not so good news for me. I was beginning to think I was in a spot of trouble. So next I began to think about some common themes of convocation addresses. One approach is to hold up famous individuals as role models who present a symbol as what you can do if you put your mind to things in the face of adversity. I appreciate the general refrain of such talks, which is to inspire you to be the best you can be and to persevere. And I would encourage you to do so. But sometimes I think this approach works better if you're actually famous. So if you're Robert De Niro, for example, you can tell stories, which he did, of him losing out on some movie parts early in his career. Somehow I think those stories would be a tad more exciting than me standing up here telling you about how nervous I was when I started teaching. Moreover, I wonder if such talks can sometimes imply, even inadvertently, that if you don't make it to the top, then you've somehow failed. So an extreme version of this would be Cersei Lannister's proclamation that when you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. There is no middle ground. An alternative approach is to encourage the graduating class to serve others and to make a difference in their communities. And like the previous theme, there are definitely elements of this that I appreciate. The fact that you are here today suggests that you have the skills and the temperament to help make lives better for others, and I would encourage you to do so. However, as with the previous theme, I sometimes worry about the expectations that are set up by such a talk. If I can return to a Game of Thrones analogy, it may imply that if you do not take the oath of the wall, then you are somehow leading a less worthy existence. And for those of you who have not read the books or watched the television shows, I'll give you just an excerpt of the oath. I shall take no wife, hold no lands, father no children. I shall wear no crowns and win no glory. I shall live and die at my post. So somewhat bleak existence there. The reality is that all of you will navigate the balancing or blending of pursuing your own goals and careers, and helping others, whether it be in your family or locally or maybe even overseas, in different ways at different stages of your life. I think the more important question becomes, what kind of principles are going to guide you in the different roles that you play over the course of your life? I would encourage you to pursue justice, to be open-minded, and to treat others as you would like to be treated. I'll turn from Game of Thrones to Lord of the Rings, because I'm a geek, to further illustrate the important contributions that you can make in different contexts and in different points of your life. The movies, in terms of Lord of the Rings, they end with very long goodbyes for the heroes, including the hobbits, Frodo Baggins and his friends, after they defeated the evil Lord Sauron, who was trying to impose tyranny on Middle-earth. But the books do not have that typical kind of Hollywood ending. In the books, the hobbits return to their normally idyllic Shire to find it in a rather bleak state, being overtaken by an evil fallen wizard and his supporters. So in the books, Sam Gamgee, who is Frodo's helper in the quest to Middle-earth, he takes on a leadership role in getting rid of the wizard from the Shire. And after that happens, he helps replenish the gardens of the Shire. He gets married and has children, and even becomes mayor of the Shire. And by ending the story the way he did, I think Tolkien was trying to teach us two things. First, evil and injustice can happen anywhere at any time, so be vigilant. And second, you do not have to be the hero in a faraway land on an epic quest to make a positive difference in the lives of others and grow in your own life. You can be a gardener, you can be a family member, and you can be a local community leader. Now back to the real world. Today we have the threat of ISIS in the Middle East, but the recently released report by the Truth and Reconciliation Committee about Aboriginal residential schools teaches us that discrimination and injustice can happen in our communities as well. Now, of course, before concluding, it should be acknowledged that in the real world, there are often many situations that do not present a stark difference between good and evil or justice and injustice. It's not always clear, for example, to what degree should you sacrifice your career to help look after a family member? If you are a business manager, how do you try to balance paying your workers fairly while not going out of business and then having to lay people off? If you are a Crown attorney, what do you do if a victim insists that she does not want charges pursued against the accused, but government policy is telling you to take domestic violence seriously and that it's not just a matter of a private dispute? If you are a manager at a non-governmental organization and the program you're managing is just on the cusp of helping a lot of disadvantaged clients, but a job comes up at another NGO that pays a higher wage and this NGO could actually help you help more people, what do you do? Often there are not easy answers, but hopefully here at the University of Guelph, we have contributed to giving you the skills and values that can help you navigate these questions. Professor Antonia Maioni, the president of the Canadian Federation for the Humanities and Social Sciences, eloquently outlined the values of a BA degree. She said, "Today's BA is producing graduates who are well-rounded, creative, critical thinkers, who can write persuasively, who can formulate arguments, and defend their ideas in conversation. Graduates who are socially engaged, socially responsible, and well-equipped to navigate a rapidly changing and interconnected world." So to conclude, you are not in a bad spot. In fact, you're in a very good spot. You have what it takes to both follow your own personal aspirations and to make a difference in the lives of others, whether on a more local scale or all the way up to a global scale. So whether your journey keeps you close to the Shire or takes you on an epic quest to Middle-earth, whether you spend some time manning the wall, or whether you even strive for the Iron Throne, best wishes for your journey.
Thank you very much, Professor Riddell, for, first of all, giving a great sense of optimism to all our BA graduates today, reminding them that they have all the skills necessary and then that their responsibility is to take it and actually make a difference in the world. Thank you very much. Well, scholars, it's now your moment. So will the graduating class please rise? Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of the University of Guelph, that they may be admitted to their various and several degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the University of Guelph, I hereby accept you for admission to your various and several degrees with all the rights, privileges, and obligations appertaining thereto.
Will members of the graduating class please be seated?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John Smithers. I'm currently the interim dean of the College of Social and Applied Human Science. We're about to present your graduates to you. Could I just ask, please, for one favor? I know you're immensely proud and wanting to express that as your special somebody comes across the stage. That's absolutely fine. But could we please ask that we hold our collective applause until each of the cohort groups have come through, and I'll give you a signal as to when that is. Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Social and Applied Human Sciences, that they may be admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Applied Science Honors Program. Anna Abbasi. Claire Bowley with distinction. Isabel Diedericks with distinction. People need to remember you heard it here first. Jennifer Page Duncan. Alana Friedman with distinction. Shannon Lee Hull Johnston. Latita Pui Lim Mac. Gloriana Ching Yin Tam with distinction. Lauren Veluso. Robin Valerie Wardlaw with distinction. Please join me in congratulating these scholars. Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Social and Applied Human Sciences, that they may be admitted to the degree Bachelor of Arts Honors Program. Saeed Khalid Ahmadi. Jason Alam. San Crisula Angela Alvizos. Kelsey Lynn Allen. Anthony Andrevsky. Julia Sarah Balsamo. Amy Elise Barsoum. Rachel Beals with distinction. Tate Bell. Diana Betley. Roxanne Maria Bilski. Jessica Avito Lucina. Emma Jane Brazil. Colton Breberina. Emma Lynn Brown with distinction. Jenna Burns. Brianne Nicole Chaffee. Andrew Timothy Chow. Samantha Jane Copley. Avery Victoria Crampton. Haley Lee Crum. Melissa Curtis. Blake Edmund James Cuthbertson, and that is a nice tie. Craig Matthew D'Addario. Jenna Lauren Davies. Chloe Isabella Davis. Alessandra DeFabio. Caitlin Eve Doherty. Nicole Doherty with distinction. Melissa Nicole Drinkle with distinction. Jonathan Earl Victor Eglinski Brown with distinction. Sarah Rose Ely. Sarah Alexander Ferguson Izurieta with distinction. Gabrielle Forget with distinction. Jessica Nicole Agaristo. Emily Charlotte Gibson. Jessica Gibson with distinction. Eliza Gold Ruvolo with distinction. Spencer Francis Greco. Elizabeth Gutierrez Nadal with distinction. Milad Haddad with distinction. Lauren Norma Margaret Harbottle with distinction. Tyler Haw. Tara Amber Hendy with distinction. Amy Christine Hilario with distinction. Scott James Hokanen. Erin Jessica Holland with distinction. Nathan Holloway with distinction. Carly Patricia Horan. Brianna Imbronio. Matthew Kanawati. Lauren Keogh. Cassandra Jean Kalansky. Lucas Kokot. Shannon Elizabeth Lafontaine. Nicholas LeBlanc. Brittany Ann Lentini. Lauren Alicia Lewitsky with distinction. Evelyn Loaiza Zambrano. Jennifer Lynn Locke. Ashley Marie Teresa Lowe with distinction. Joshua McChesney. Caitlin Rose Kumari Makund. Stephanie Danielle Matuziak with distinction. Jordan Taylor McCoskey. Moira McGuigan. Kyle William McNerney. Stephen Sean Mirovitz. Aaron John Mickelson. Jennifer Lori Murdoch. Claudia Niroda. Michael Christopher Ott. Scott Perry. Michaela Sabina Petroni. Kristen Margaret Pepper. Christine Angelica Phillips. Tony Chantel Pinchin. Cole Pizzo. Sarah Kinami. Michelle Radzawan. Madison Rawl. Jeffrey James Riddell. Chantal Nadia Roberts. Olivia Christine Ross Fitchner. Michaela Anna de Salaberry Seljak. Kristen Brianna Nicole Semch. Christy Lynn Sirota with distinction. Megan Lee Schumacher with distinction. Sarah Silva. Carly Simons Victoria Stanhope with distinction. Patrick William Stroyan. Carrington Kez Stuck. Cassandra Leanne Taylor with distinction. Kelsey Margaret Taylor with distinction. Michaela Jane Toohey. Mary Lauren Walton with distinction. Nicole Jacqueline Wanop. Lauren Alexandra West. Stephanie Nicole Wilson. Simon Halmar Windebank. Victoria Ann Wood with distinction. Nicole Kimberly Wozniak with distinction. Chelsea Wright with distinction. Georgia Elizabeth Zimbo. Tally Zinger. Eric Zinn with distinction. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating these scholars. I have to say, this is a very well-behaved audience today. Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Social and Applied Human Sciences that they may be admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts General Program. Cale Adam Wesley Anderson. Caitlin Cartwright. Alicia Loretta DeCosme. Grace Sarah Heffley. Shannon Nicole Edison. Eric Kerr. Thanks. Igor Kolpak. Bradley John McDonald. Trevor William Meehan. Natalie Madison Mintz. Corey Paul. Alexis Quibel. Michael James Ruel. Shanice Alicia Scott. Teresa Saccaraccia. Philip Enrique Terry. Garrett Patrick Hugh Wad. Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you this scholar from the College of Social and Applied Human Science, that she may be admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Science Honors Program. Caitlin Trauzy. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating all of our scholars.
Mr. Chancellor, I would ask you to confer the various and several degrees on the graduates listed in the program but unable to be present at this ceremony.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the University of Guelph, I confer the various and several degrees in absentia on the graduates not present.
Well, graduates, you did it. Well done. Congratulations. Well, we are also very proud of your accomplishments here at the University of Guelph. And we'll, of course, continue to be interested to see how the foundations that you've developed here as a student will continue to support you in the future. We want to be part of that celebration, celebrating your achievements and successes, and hope you'll stay in touch. Remember that you're always welcome here. And of course, you are a student for a short time, but you're a Griffin forever. So keep that in mind as you go on with your alma mater. Now, following convocation, Dr. John Smithers, Acting Dean of the College of Physical, no, actually we got a little typo here. We'll host a reception for all the graduates and their guests in Creelman Hall. This is an opportunity to congratulate the graduates, and we hope that you can attend. So this is a reception that Dr. Smithers will be hosting, and I encourage as many of you as possible to attend. It's a wonderful opportunity to mingle. Now, a little bit of housekeeping items here. Now, once you've taken the photographs, your photographs, graduates, please turn your gowns and hoods to the tent outside. Now, there is sometimes a tendency to want to keep going, but if you could just hang a right and make sure you drop off the hoods and gowns, that would be much appreciated, particularly for the next ceremony. We host 21 convocation ceremonies this week, and waiting outside is the next group of families eager to see their graduates cross the stage. So if you'll please exit through the doors at the front, that's this end of the hall, we'll be able to prepare for the next group. So once again, congratulations, well done, and of course, as tradition has it, the Chancellor will have the final word.
Convocation is dismissed. Thank you.